people, Mark Holmes here, and as always I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report, as well as cooking and tailgating with Jobu and Jobu's day job. My brother behind me with my wife, he's become a saffron grower. Now, saffron is one of the most expensive spices in the world, and let me show you a little bit. Right, this is saffron flowers right there, and right there, that's the thread. That is the spice that everybody is looking for. It's literally like $50 to $100 a gram. Now, my brother has figured out ways of making a super soil that is literally making these things grow, and he's been picking, believe it or not, over 1,000 blooms a day. Now, this is a very labor intense type of spice growing, because it's basically, you got to pick the flowers like in the dark, early in the morning, and they only bloom for about 2 weeks a year in the fall. So, but here's what's crazy. One bulb will actually turn into 4 bulbs. So there's growth in numbers here. So these are ones that have already done all their blooming pretty much. I see one bloom over there. These were planted a little bit later, and you can see there's those threads and things that are in there. Behind me here, my brother, who's the inventor of how he's growing this and making it so it's actually easier to actually get through. So it's supposed to be growing in the ground. These are up higher. See, we're older people, and it's harder to bend down into the ground. And so you look at this. It's really great when you have a crate to be able to pick these from. So, Rondo,
yeah,
how did you come up with the idea for the way of planting it like this?
Well, it was actually started by the University of Vermont, and they were doing it in a large greenhouse, wide open. I couldn't do a full greenhouse in the backyard, and I started off doing vertical style indoor, and they have to weather winter outside and grow. So I put them outside, I put a little hoop over it, and prayed they made it through the winter. The advantages of doing it in the crate: people who plant it in the ground, if you want to multiply your stock, you'd have to dig it up every year. And if you think it's hard digging and planting, imagine digging it up, separating from the soil, and then dividing the bulbs. So they do it every 3 or 4 years. I can do it every year. So my 3,000 bulbs could be 12,000 bulbs by June. And it's much easier to get the bulbs out because you take the crate out. All the grass and stuff has died back. It goes dormant in and then in June you take them out, you dump them over a screen, the soil goes through, you reuse the soil, sterilize it and amend it, and you have all your bulbs there.
With this, typically, I was trying to do some research and stuff on it. I've bought saffron one time, and I was like sticker shopping. This was probably 12 years ago, because I got a little teeny bottle that had like 5 or 6 threads in it. It was $18, and I was like, I don't know what it does, because I can't hardly see it. Typically, what I was reading is that you get like 1 to 3 blooms for a bulb.
Yeah, well, they say you should between 1 to 2.5 per bulb. I'm getting 4 and 5 in my soil mix. What also makes this more prolific in flowering and bulb reproduction is it's a custom mixed soil. It has a base, it has alpaca manure, rabbit manure.
Don't tell the secrets. Don't tell the secrets now.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Okay, but so you've come up with your own kind of mix to go in here. So how did you figure out what to put in there?
Research.
Okay, so you've got a lot of research has gone into
and I
figuring it out.
And I sent the recipe to the biggest bulb grower in the Netherlands, and he said super flowers.
Okay, well, I've heard that you have a really big person that's going to become a client of yours, and if you can tell us about Andres,
Jose Andres,
yes,
World Kitchen. I don't know if I should be spitting that out yet.
Okay, all right. You didn't hear that. Well, cut. Sorry, I got rudely interrupted by the damn Cowboys trading for Quentin Williams while I was sitting here talking to my brother. And I was like, what? Wait a minute, it came across the board. But we're sitting here with his saffron garden. And so we were talking about the process of your soil and things, where you've gone through, you've done the research and things, and you're getting above the yield with this. And with what you've come up with, the container system, it's easier actually to be able to harvest as well as to pick the bulbs. So you were saying this has to winter over.
Yeah.
So it's only certain climates that saffron will be able to grow?
Saffron has to have cool fall and cold winter, and as long as the soil where the bulb is doesn't freeze. Now, my yield I keep a record of how many flowers I get per crate.
Okay.
So this is 12 bulbs, and I've got 4 flowers per bulb.
Okay.
Which is superior yield, which means you can make more saffron in less time.
Okay, now when we're talking about the saffron, we know the threads, and you get like a little tube of like 4 or 5 threads in it. And like I said, it was like $18 for it. But it's not just the threads that are usable. So tell me the different things that you can do with the petals, the threads, and so on.
Okay, you can take you get from one stem of saffron, you get 3 prime pieces of saffron. You get a style, that's the base that they all grow into one. That's usable because it has a lower percentage of the saffronyl and croatine and all those.
So what would you use that for?
You can use that to make saffron soap. You can use it as a tea. It's a less expensive version for tea. It can be used as a supplement as well. And then you can also, you have the flowers. The flowers can make a nice tea, and you can mix that with other teas, and it's a more complex bouquet in your teacup.
Well, you had like a purple,
the purple dust.
The purple dust. I was going to say purple flower.
The flowers can be ground into a dust that becomes an accent and a garnish on, the high-end food scale.
Okay.
Some of the
kind of like a lime zest, so to speak, kind of would be a way to, I guess you equate it when you say an accent. So you get the zest of a lime to give you some of the flavor without it being the full flavor. Okay, all right. And then
also you make, a lot of people who've already done this, they say, picking the saffron is a lot of work. You get a fair yield, but most people are making a bulk of their money reselling bulbs as people get interested. One group is in business 3 years. He said he's ready to retire from trucking because they made $250,000 selling bulbs, because bulbs can sell for
Okay, so for example then, with the crate, you've got 12 bulbs that are in here. You've created about 48 saffron flowers out of it, so they're done for the season. This will winter over, but it will continue to grow and become more bulbs.
Through the winter, it goes into the bulb multiplying stage.
And so, how many bulbs can you expect to get out of one crate like this?
Out of one crate, you could get 60 bulbs.
Wait a minute. You've got 12 bulbs in here now.
You can get 5 times.
So that's 5 times. Wow.
But the prime ones would be, you may be getting 3 prime bulbs.
What makes one prime versus non-prime?
It's bigger. And as it grows through winter, depending on the nutrients, and that's where we're banking on my custom mix, which should give me even more bulb multiplication and bigger bulbs.
Okay.
And those bulbs can be sold for up to $2 a bulb. That's what people are pushing them out at.
So if you have, I'm new to this. So having a bigger bulb, is it going to give you better yield or a bigger flower?
Yeah, because the bulb during the winter and growing season, it's actually putting the blooms away.
So this, in essence, is kind of like when you have a potato.
Yeah.
You cut a potato into pieces, it gets the eyes on it, and the eyes spread, and sometimes you end up with a couple really big potatoes, and then you have some that are like little baby ones. Although the baby ones are good though if you got a roast, because you want a whole bunch of little baby potatoes in there. So that sounds great. So we'll be checking back in here then the spring when you go through and harvest. So in essence, there's two harvests with it. You harvest the flowers, and in the springtime you harvest the bulbs. So you're actually able to do more things.
And
so you have about how many bulbs did you start with this season?
3,000.
So 3,000, you could be looking at having 15,000
Yeah, 15,000.
bulbs.
I had, from my first trial last year with 180 bulbs, I ended up with 510 bulbs. Now I had real small ones, and then a few, mediums and some primos. But I did not have my super soil mix. I had almost a null and void soil. I had only bone meal in it, no manures, no other amendments.
Okay.
But I still got, it said you got maximum bulb production, but they weren't of large size. But I planted every bulb, like from this one, these cherry pits, because they were about the size of a cherry pit. Now next year, they will be medium. These are supposed to be this is a size 8-9, which is not supposed to bloom, but I've gotten one flower per bulb.
Okay.
And then, but next year they will be primo bulbs.
Okay.
And these are some, because this is called bulking up. You bulk them up, even though you can't use them or get flowers this year from them. They'll bulk up, and next year they'll be the super flowers.
Okay. All right. And so you're also getting a website too.
Yeah.
And that's called?
Hondo Saffron.
Okay.
BigCartel.com.
Hondo Saffron.
.bigcartel.com.
All right. Much. We just learned everything about saffron that you ever wanted to know. Definitely check out the website, and I'll put it in the description.